Those who are aspiring to write civil service exam in the year 2026-2027, CSBIS Academy is starting a new batch on April 23rd on Wednesday. The new name of the batch is Vishwavasu. As this is a Telugu New Year this year, Vishwavasu batch we are launching on April 23rd with our auspicious name. Those who are interested to take coaching online or offline in English medium, they can approach CSBIS Academy. They can directly come to the Hyderabad and take coaching, or they can access this coaching online also. This coaching, the time frame of this coaching is 11 months, and we cover all the subjects with respect to prelims and mains. Those who are really interested to take coaching for civil services, they can access CSBIS Academy through these phone numbers. They can call, they can ask their queries. The phone numbers are displayed on the in front of the video and also in the comments box of the video. Thank you. Phone numbers and further details can be found in the description box below the video. Interested candidates who want to join this course can fill the Google form which is given in the description box below the video. Today's most important news. Today is April 14th, Ambedkar Jayanti, a key figure and a social reformer, a messiah to the masses, a hero to the downtrodden, what not. Ambedkar is more and more relevant today. He said, there will be outcasts as long as there are castes. Social reforms must come before political reforms. I love that religion which teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. He is a man of action. He is still in action. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was a ray of hope to the millions of downtrodden in India. His ideology, his writings, his books are still more relevant to us. As a chairman of drafting committee in the Constituent Assembly, he made Indian Constitution replete with the ideologies of equality, fraternity. And he also was a man behind Hindu Code Bill in the Parliament. He led many drinking water movements, temple entry movements. In fact, he was a social reformer and he believed that all humans are basically equal. Though he died in 1956, in 2025, we are talking about him, and every political leader, irrespective of a political party, try to own him, try to inaugurate his statues, and try to use Ambedkar in their political speeches. Ambedkar is not just a man, he's an emotion in India. He's not just a man, he's an emotion. Ambedkar, though was influenced by Karl Marx, he never preached violent methods to bring about an equal society. He never advocated that ends are more important than the means. He believed that means are more important than the ends. For that reason, he always believed in constitutional and democratic methods. He left no stone unturned to fight for the rights of the Dalits and downtrodden. In fact, he also have given representation to the Simon Commission, attended all the 3 roundtable conferences, and Ambedkar organized All India Scheduled Caste Federation to uplift the masses. And he is the man who brought reservations into India. And he also believed that in 10 years, India will become an equal society. There won't be much relevance or need for reservations. But still, we are still continuing reservations as we have that social inequality even till date. So, today, Ambedkar Jayanti, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was born on April 14th, 1891 in the present day Madhya Pradesh, Mau. Coming from a Dalit family, he faced caste discrimination early in his life, and he believed that only with social equality, political equality is possible. So, we should always aim for an equal society where every person, irrespective of his background, caste, creed, religion, sex, should get equal priority and opportunity in India and should be given equal priority in the nation building. This is the most important thing which we need to understand. The next important, most important news is the first time in India tests laser-based weapon against aerial threats. India is the 4th country after America, China, and Russia to have this weapon, laser-based weapon, to destroy, disrupt the drones and other vehicles. This was developed by DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, particularly CHESS, Center for High Energy Systems and Sciences, Vehicle Mounted Laser Directed Energy Weapon. vehicle mounted laser directed energy weapon. Through the program Integrated Drone Detection and Interdiction System, India developed and successfully conducted trial of the Directed Energy Weapon DEW Directed Energy Weapon System with a 30 kilowatt laser was carried out at the National Open Air Range in Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh. This system, that is Directed Energy Weapon System, has been developed indigenously. During the trial, the full capability of the weapon was showcased by engaging the fixed wing drones at a long range, thwarting a multiple drone attacks and destroying enemy surveillance sensors and antenna. As you all know, we have seen drone attacks, multiple drone attacks, particularly even during Patankot attacks. Right now, India is in a stage to prepare anti-drone weapons, and in this technology, laser-based weapons are being manufactured to contain, disrupt the drones. In fact, I can tell you, basically these weapons have high energy lasers, very powerful lasers. It is directed towards drones. So they are laser guided navigation systems. Any kind of sensors can be disrupted. Any kind of drones or any kind of laser guided systems or any kind of sensors can be disrupted. Not just disrupted, heavily disrupted. Almost, it can also cause structural damage to the drones. Almost, it can make drones dysfunctional. This laser based weapons can cause structural damage to the drones, and they can make dysfunctional also. They can make completely the drones dysfunctional. So we can retaliate any kind of drone attack with this. So this is first of its kind. Only till now 3 countries have that: America, Russia and China. Now India got laser based weapons against aerial threats. This is a big news that is coming up. It's a very, very big news that is coming up. Okay. Coming back, Mehul Choksky detained in Belgium on India's extradition request. It's an era of extraditions for India. We have seen Tahur Rana's extradition. Now Mehul Choksky. Mehul Choksky is a prime accused in Punjab National Bank scam, millions of crores. And Mehul Choksky was detained in Belgium on India's extradition request. Fugitive diamond merchant Mehul Choksky has been arrested in Belgium on India's extradition request for his role in Punjab National Bank loan fraud case, a development that comes weeks after the media reports confirmed that Mehul Choksky is living in the country's Antwerp with his wife after obtaining a residency card in Belgium. So, in Belgium, there is a place called Antwerp, very famous place in the world for ANTWERP. It's very famous for diamonds, diamond polishing. In India, Surat is very famous for diamond polishing. In the world, Antwerp is very famous for diamond polishing. There is a place called Antwerp, the world's top place for diamond polishing. So, Mehul Choksky was found in Belgium. Just check it out. 4 earthquakes jolted India, Myanmar, Tajikistan within an hour on April 13th. So, 4 earthquakes struck parts of India, Myanmar, Tajikistan in quick succession on April 13th, that is Sunday, shaking regions across South and Central Asia. All 4 tremors occurred within an hour, but there is no major damage. They are around 3.4 magnitude, and one earthquake is 4 magnitude, but there is no much damage based on these earthquakes. Coming back, Kerala is going to elections. You all know that very soon. Pinarayi Vijayan's Dharmadham, his constituency, declared as a Kerala's first constituency free of extreme poverty. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan's Dharmadham Assembly constituency in Kannur was declared as the state's first extreme poverty free constituency in the Kerala. In a function held at Pinarayi village in his constituency, Pinarayi Vijayan said, the entire state will be declared as an extreme poverty free state on 1st November 2025. Significantly, the 4 common factors taken as indicators for extreme poverty was food availability, health, income and housing, which have been considered as the basic requirements for the survival of a family. So, extreme poverty free Kerala. They are aiming for extreme poverty free Kerala. Iran and America are having positive talks with respect to Iran's nuclear issues in Oman. Iran and America held positive and constructive talks in Oman on April 12th, and they agreed to reconvene next week again. So Iran and America are coming little positive with respect to the contending issues. It seems that we can expect a major breakthrough in a positive way in the near future. So coming to the other important news from Hindu, Kerala also seeks to have pending bills passed as deemed to be passed. As you all know, last week Supreme Court have delivered a landmark judgment in the legislative history of India that the bills pending before the governor and the president shall be deemed to be passed, and Tamil Nadu have notified those bills. Now Kerala's turn have come. Kerala seeks to have pending bills deemed to be passed. Armed with Supreme Court's landmark judgment on bills kept pending by the governors and the president, Kerala is said to contend in the top court that all the bills pending with the president from Kerala Legislative Assembly to be deemed to be passed. So now Kerala is also demanding that their bills should also be deemed to be passed, taking the clue from Tamil Nadu's judgment. The other important news, Murshidabad violence in West Bengal. Almost 150 people were arrested, few people got killed with respect to Anti-Waqf Act violent activities in West Bengal. 17 companies of CAPF were deployed in Murshidabad district of West Bengal following violent protests over Waqf Amendment Act that claimed 3 lives on April 12th. Over 150 people were arrested and one person sustained a bullet injury and he was admitted in the hospital. So there was a big issue that is going on in West Bengal, Murshidabad district with respect to Waqf Amendment Act. So SC categorization into 3 groups to come into effect from today in Telangana. You all know Supreme Court have given judgment few months back with respect to SC subcategorization, Davinder Singh versus State of Punjab. Now based on that judgment, states are making SC classification. In Telangana, SC categorization into 3 groups to come into effect from today, that is April 14th. Kerala temple opens sacred space to all sections. In a landmark move, devotees from all communities entered the Nalambalam, the sacred inner quarter of the centuries-old Pilikod Rayaramangalam temple in Kasaragod district of Kerala for the first time, ending all caste-based discrimination. It's a very good move, right? On the occasion of B.R. Ambedkar's birthday, we are actually reading this news that a temple in Kerala ending a caste-based discrimination. It's very good. Good news we can say. Coming back, a festival is coming up in Kerala called Vishu. What is the significance of Vishu? We celebrate Ugadi. Vishu is a New Year festival in Kerala. I think Vishu festival is fast approaching in Kerala. And the news that are coming up, AIADMK BJP alliance in Tamil Nadu, as you all know, Annamalai was ousted as a president of BJP in Tamil Nadu, and governors conduct and judgment of significance. You all know state of Tamil Nadu versus governor of Tamil Nadu and others. The judgment delivered by the Supreme Court, where Supreme Court have given stern remarks against the governor keeping the bills pending, and Supreme Court said by using its powers under Article 142, the bills which are pending before the governor and president are deemed to be passed.